Good morning, everybody. It's Peter here from AJS, also representing our sister business in New Zealand, G&A Warburtons. And once again, we have the delight in taking you into a jeweller's workshop somewhere in Australasia. And this week we're heading across the ditch to sunny Auckland and the even sunnier Maca Bernal. Hi, Maca.
Hi, everyone.
Great to have you on board, Maca.
Hi,
And
Peter. Yes.
I did tell a little fib in that introduction. We're not actually in your workshop. Where
No,
are we?
we're not in my workshop, but we're in one of the coolest places there are in Auckland. This is the Warburtons G&A shop floor. So all the equipment that I've got in front of me is not part of my workshop. It is part of their amazing equipment that they sell, and that's what we're here to promote.
Oh, beautiful. And educate, of course. So
Absolutely.
today our presentation's called Burs, Drills and More. Would you like to elaborate on what we're getting up to, Marco?
Burrs, drills, and everything that you can put at the end of your flexi shaft. A little bit of a long title, but yeah, this is just one of those tools that we use so much in our trade. And I must admit that when you first begin your career or your enterprise as a jeweler, you don't look into buying this straight away. But as soon as you discover how cool and how fabulous it is and how many bits you can put at the end of it, you end up buying one straight away.
Right, because it's so versatile and it'll save you so much time.
Do you know what it saves? It saves your
Does it?
treasured hands.
Ah,
Yes, when you first begin to make jewelry, a lot of the tutoring is thought or is prescribed, so you do things by hand because you need to build that sensitivity, sensitivity with every single one of your metals, with every one of your makes. So things need to be learned by hand. But as soon as you're done with that, you try to save your wrists, you try to do better for your articulations. And it is very important that you learn that this is an extension of the hand. It is one more tool, one more bit of equipment that you can have that'll make your life simpler, easier, and your work a little bit more professional, if I may say so.
there you go. Yep. Excellent. Okay, so where are we starting today then, Marco?
So step one, this is the Fordham flexi shaft. I'm not gonna change the angle of the camera because it's pretty
That's right.
good.
Yeah.
But I've got my Fordham SR series pendant on the little hook and the shaft and the handpiece. Now this is an automatic handpiece, which I am going to swiftly change the burrs and the drill bits with. You might start buying yourself the one that comes with most of these pendant motors, which is another handpiece, which needs a chuck key, which is
Okay.
perfectly fine. Don't shy off it because it's really good, except for that this one's faster for the purpose of the demo,
Yep. Yep.
right? So if you've got at home a different handpiece, don't worry. This is the same type of burrs. It's the same type of use of the burr, except for the handpiece changes.
No worries. Okay. So
So
what are we going to get up to
if
first?
you allow me, I'm going to change the angle of the camera a little bit.
Sure.
And we have been having a great time with this tripod because it is not 100% perfect, but we still like it. And we're still going to use it. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you.
So I've got my bench peg in front of me and a plethora of work, little bits and bobs made of copper, a couple of silver bits, a bezel, just to give yourself some bit more context as to how and when do we use the different bars.
No worries.
Very important to show the
Mhm.
lubricant for a lot of the work that I'm going to do today. Not for all of it, for a lot of the work that I'm going to use today. Some burr lubricant is very important. If you want to keep your burrs in good shape, if you want to protect the work that you are doing, if it's very delicate, most jewelry tends to be, you want to use lubricant.
Okay.
So And it also helps. It prevents from for these very small, delicate tools to overheat. Because if they overheat, they become blunt faster and they don't last as long as we would like them to.
Fair enough.
All of these burrs that I've got in front of me that I'm going to demo for you today have a specific lifespan. They don't last forever. They're very small, so they get worn down easily. So depending on each person, how much they're going to use them for. If you buy yourself a set of, I don't know, a little box of 6 drills, you're going to go through them quite fast.
Yeah. So traditionally, the old 80-20 rule applies. You've got 100 burrs and there's 20 that you particularly use all the time. Which are your go-to
That's
ones?
exactly the point. Yes, you're not going to use them all the time, but there are some that I've brought today that are a little bit like my favorites, or just the curious ones that I would tend to use. Classic drills, absolutely classic drill bits. You can get them in every single measurement that you want. 1 millimeter, 0.8 millimeters, 0.9. So just know the dimension that you need and come to Warburtons and get it. Once you have secured it in your handpiece, give it a little spin and use the lubricant, just a little bit. Use your peg, firmly grab your piece of silver or your metal that you're using. That's the key. The key is to hold with your left hand or your right, depending if you're what side you're working on. The key is to hold that down really, really firmly and just gently, slowly drill. Once you hit, this is gyrating the wrong direction, sorry. Ha! Now we got it. Once you touch down, slowly put a little bit of pressure at a time. And next thing you know, you would have had made a very tiny 1 millimeter hole with absolutely no effort. The key is to use no force. Let the tool do the job.
Okay. Good advice.
Just a teeny tiny hole to start with. Just a little hole to start with. And that could be in any of your pieces that you are working on.
Mm-hmm.
So a drill bit drills through, and that's what a lot of my students in particular have that question. They say, I need to drill a hole, but I don't have the right drill bit size, for example. And I say to them to start with the 1, because it's a standard size. Start with the 1 and go a little bit bigger every time. It's
So,
better to
Maca,
start with a little hole.
How organised are you with your storage of your drill bits?
You have to be pretty organized.
Mm.
You have to be pretty organized. I mean, there's lovely organization equipment. Look at this beautiful little strand of, I don't know, this is just a piece of wood that's drilled through, and
It
it
could
just
be in
looks
an art gallery,
pretty.
couldn't it?
It's beautiful. And
Yeah.
have a look at these. You can buy these, and they are very, very organized. It is just a piece of foam on a little box.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you've got this right in front of you whilst you're working, you can choose whichever drill bit or burr you're going to use and just keep them in the same place. You can always write down on the side, put little labels on the sides here to know the dimensions and the sizes, the thickness of the burrs that you're using,
Yeah.
if you can't remember that. But, some of us just flag it. Now have a look at this. This is really cool. This is a little kit that you can buy, which comes with pretty much the most used accessories. It's got 43 pieces and a little bit of lube in a little tub. And I was just looking into it, and it's got most of the ones that I use on a daily basis.
Okay. So it's your critical ones.
If you don't know what to buy, if you think to yourself, you're watching this video and you think, oh my God, I have none of those. What am I missing out on? Just come here and get yourself one of these kits. And that's the way to begin, to start, because obviously there's going to be more and you're going to need more and you're going to want more. So that'll just get you
It's
started.
the nature of the business.
It really is.
Yes.
So a little bit of a thicker burr. I think this is more than one. I'm not 100% sure. But you hold that down again, and through the same hole, you drill just softly to make your hole slightly bigger and bigger. Now, if you don't have a bigger drill bit, but you do need a bigger size hole, there are these little cutesies that have lots of very, very sharp teeth on them. Is that
Okay.
possible to see on camera? Am I close enough, Peter?
It's pretty
Should I come
vague.
closer?
Yeah. Yeah, we got the picture there now. Yep.
They are very small teeth, serrated.
Okay.
So with something like that, you could be making that hole even bigger, right? Now, don't forget your lube. Very important. And you can hold your piece and go round and round, doing circular motions very gently. Let the teeth do the job. I don't know if I'm showing this appropriately. Is that good?
Yep. Yep.
Round and round and round, and you will make your hole bigger and bigger and bigger. So basically, which tool you're going to use, if you don't have the right burr, you can always use something else and just work from there to adapt to what you need. Have a look at this one. This one's really, really big teeth.
Yep.
And that, for example, could be used sometimes on the inside. This is a bezel. Sometimes on the inside of your bit that you are working with, could be a ring, could be a bezel. You would need to scratch on the inside to get rid of something really nasty or something that's poking out. You could always use that like that sideways. Now, these admittedly are designed to cut prongs for setting, which I'm not going to demo today because that's not my bag.
Mhm.
I'm not a setter, but that's what my setter uses when he needs to cut the prongs and the claws and do all his bead work.
Okay.
It's pretty fabulous stuff, if I may say so. Right. So let's move on to another one of my favorites. I'll leave the one that's my most favorite to the end.
You're tantalizing us.
Have a look at this.
Yes.
This is a disc, a sanding disc, and this little split mandrel. I don't know if I'm being, can I show you how to push it together to take the disc out? So it's got a little brass center,
Yep.
and this mechanism, when you push it together, it snaps on. Next
Okay.
thing you know, you've got a teeny tiny disc of sandpaper in your hand that'll get in those really, really pesky corners where it's difficult to get with your other types of sandpaper. For example, this is a really tiny kind of post situation, and
Yep.
it's difficult to sand the place where the post hits the base. And with something like this disc, I can just gently, gently hold and sand sideways
Okay.
like that. This is perfect for hard to reach places. It gives you a really nice result depending on the grade of sand disc that you are using. For example, the garnet fine, the sand fine, the garnets even, I think this is even finer. Depending on the color, you'll find the ladies here will always guide you to know which one is the one you need. It's the same, it works the same as sandpaper that you buy in sheets. They've got a number, They've got a grade, and depending on what type of finish you want, there's lots of beautiful discs for you to choose from. Double-sided course. That's really cool. So that means that it's got sandpaper at the back and at the front. So in case you want to use it, for example, like this, or the front, you can use the front and the back. What I normally do, if I don't have the double-sided ones, is I turn them around. You can always take your disc out. See, they snap really well on, and turn it around so that the part with no sanding paper goes to the front. The part with sandpaper goes to the back. And you can always, what was I sanding this ring? You can always change your direction. There you go. Sanding discs. So
there's always more than one way to skin a cat there, Maca.
You love that saying.
Have I said that before?
Yes, you have. And I don't like that saying because I'm a
Oh,
cat
because you
person.
like cats. Oh.
Yeah, Valentino would not be very grateful at you saying that.
I'll have to think of another animal or something.
We will forgive you. They are amazing. I can't tell you how much I use these and how much I suggest that everyone gets a go at using them, because they will solve a lot of your sanding problems. If anyone thinks to themselves, God, I could never reach inside the little intricate parts of the whatever you're making, this is going to solve your problems. Something else that I always do. Sorry, can I please borrow your scissors? You're fabulous. Oh, look at these fabulous scissors. Aren't they fabulous?
Anyway, that's a pair of scissors.
Pro tip of mine, when this disc is a little bit too big, because you can't get smaller discs, what you do is you just cut your disc into a smaller circle.
Are you sure it's going to be a circle?
The closest possible. To be honest with you, the minute you begin using it and gyrating it, it becomes a circle pretty fast. Okay. So don't worry about cutting it in a perfect circle. Just worry about the size. And you can get this to be as tiny as you need so that it can go in those crevices that you need to get into. So yeah, absolutely a must, these sanding discs. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Talking about sanding. Are you there, Peter?
I'm here, Maca. I'm
just checking. Talking about sanding, a split mandrel with sandpaper on it.
Okay, yeah.
This is most likely the burr or the accessory, the bit that I personally use the most. Being rings, one of the jewelry pieces that I make a lot of, or at least teach to make a lot of. That split mandrel will help you to sand your discs, your rings on the inside.
Yep.
Where it's really difficult to get with any other sanding device. When you first begin your jewelry training, you're told to do this by hand. Nobody wants to show you how easy it is to do the inside of a ring with a split mandrel because it's like cheating, you know?
Yeah.
So this is what the split mandrel looks like when it doesn't have any sandpaper on it. It is literally a tube or a rod with a split in the middle. And what we're going to do you choose your grade of sandpaper. You can cut a strip of any sandpaper that you need. And we're going to slot it right there. And we're going to roll it. Roll it real nice and tight, nice and tidy so that you get the best of your sandpaper. Make sure it's tight. And then what you can do is, as I have done, you can tie it up with a little bit of wire, just some binding wire that you've got in your workshop,
Yeah.
or with some paper. With some tape, with some masking tape or sellotape right at the bottom, so that every time that you need new sandpaper, all you do is you rip that off and you've got new sandpaper to work with.
Great tip. Yes.
And that bit of sandpaper with metal on it goes into your lamel, goes into your bin that you're gonna refine later. Don't throw that away, that's got metal on it. It's all about making your practice work for you, isn't it?
Mm.
So something else that I wanted to talk about with this split mandrel, Peter, is that a lot of people use it with no safety, just like that, and
Yeah.
it becomes unraveled and it's really uncomfortable, and it makes a really annoying flapping sound when you're trying to teach a class. So my recommendation is to always secure that nicely with some tape or with a bit of wire. As you can see, if you're in class and this happens, oh, it came loose. Once again, let me try this again. If it's not secured, this exact thing can happen to you. It can just come off. So some people in my class or in other classes that I've attended, they're in the middle of class and you can hear this. That's a bit much, isn't it? No one else can hear themselves think. So if you're in a class with a lot of people, if you're in your workshop on your own, never mind. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if you're in a class with a lot of people and there's a tutor there trying to teach, be kind to everyone and just make sure that you put some chicken wire, some security masking tape at the bottom of this, or any tape, to be honest, and just make sure that it doesn't flap around.
Good tip.
That
Thank you very much, Maca.
is a very good tip for when you're working in a group. You don't want to be that person, you know?
No.
All right, let's move on to the next burr. I want to demo a cup burr. So I've got two sizes of cup burrs here. They are the size and of my wire that I've got here. So these are specific to round up the ends of wire. You can see I've got this little piece of wire here. It's just a little bit of silver wire to make a ear hook or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a cup burr, as the name says it, is the shape and size of a cup. See, this is a mega huge one, which would be for a massive, massive piece of wire. But the teeny tiny one that I've got right here is for a 0.9 wire. So get the size of cup burr that goes with your size of wire. And this is what it's for. What you will do with your wire, it's been clipped, so it's got a really nasty pointy edge that we need to get rid of. So step one is for you to file it straight. Just get rid of that little bit of this spiky edge, just a little bit with a normal flat file. Once you've done that, grab your specific cup burr of the size that you require. Hold it really nicely, firmly down on your peg, and put the wire inside of the cup and spin it around and around, and it will, the teeth, the teeny tiny teeth in there, which you can see way better on this huge one, all those nice sharp teeth are going to round up the tip of your wire for you.
Beautiful.
So you don't have to. I think a lot of people that are watching this video would need to make some ear wires like these, like hooks.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly what you can't have that sharp. You cannot have that end sharp because that's the end that contacts your skin, that contacts your ear. Your clients are not going to like that. Your mother is not going to like that if you gift her a pair of earrings. So even when maybe your earring is finished, ready to go, and that end is not necessarily nice and tidy or blunt enough, rounded up enough, all you have to do is put your wire inside that little cut burr and give it a nice twirl. So I'm activating the foot pedal very slowly, no speed needed here, and just going round and round. And then now the end of that wire is really, really nice and soft.
Mm. Well, that cupper would be a critical tool for you then, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, because without it, before I knew these existed, I would file round every single one of my ear wires, and then I would sand them. So yeah, it just makes your process a lot shorter, a lot more effective, and it gives you a really consistent result every time. So
Yeah.
for all of you guys that go to markets, that make small production handmade jewelry, or even if your business is about all sorts of pre-made or machine-made jewelry that you import or that you resell, you might want to feel the ends of the earrings if they are nice and soft, because if they're not, all you need to do is use a little cupper at the end.
Yep. Beauty. A great
Beauty.
tool, that one.
That's the kind of help that you want to preserve the health of your wrists, to make sure that you take care of your hands, your fingers, because yeah, that's the kind of stuff that doing it too much is a little bit too repetitive on the hands, those circular movements of the file and those circular movements of the sandpaper will you'll be preventing RSI.
Yep.
All right,
Good thing to prevent.
next one. Oh, we all want to prevent RSI, always.
Mm.
Absolutely, always. This is one of those trades. Have a look at these, Peter.
Where are we heading now? Oh, these look vicious.
They're really soft,
Right.
but they're very spiky, right?
Yeah.
These wheels are all about texture. Beautiful wheels here, brand new. Mine are not brand new, mine are worn.
Mm.
You can see the brand new ones are really nice.
Okay, so for adding texture, depending what sort of texture you want on your piece.
Right. Now we are going into the finish of the jewelry. So depending on the color of the little wheels, you will have different hardness, different effect, a little bit more, a little bit less. Excuse me. I'm just going to go with this yellow. And this ring, oh, let's use one of these. See these little rondelles that I made before? They're quite shiny. They've been put in the tumbler for a while, so the finish is almost perfect. If you made, they're made of copper,
And you're about to
quite
change that.
shiny, and I'm going to change it. So a little bit of this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a brush, and it changes the surface completely
Mm-hmm.
to a more satin effect. This
Okay.
is this is a texture that people love,
Yeah.
absolutely adored by a lot of my students and a lot of the people that I sell my jewelry to as well. Brushed, this beautiful satin brushed look
Mm.
in comparison to that finish.
Yeah. I really like
Really,
it as well. Yeah.
it's a little bit elegant. You can do it in silver, you can do it in gold, you can do it in copper. That is what these texturing discs are for. You stack them up, 2, 3, 4 of them, and you brush away. The best results come from changing direction, from brushing a little bit in a circular mode or in a crisscross mode.
Okay.
And in the same family, but same but different, is this little guy. It's got something stuck on it. There we go. This here is like a Scotch Brite
Okay.
disc. So again, a very nice matte effect. See how shiny that is?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to mattify it.
See you later.
I'm just going to do half of it this time so we can have something to compare. There you go. Half of it is matte. The other half is shiny.
And how different is that finish to that other piece you just did?
Let's compare. They're not too dissimilar. The effect is relatively similar.
Okay.
I guess the yellow crazy brush there, I don't know its name. I should know the name. Has got a little bit more lines through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I want to try if I can show you how to use this particular one in circular motions. Because it does give a different effect. Like if you just blot it instead of use it a little bit permanent. Does that make some sense? You can change the direction. You can manipulate the direction of the shine.
Okay.
Which is why we love them. They're phenomenal. And they're different colors and there are different grades and you should try them all.
Because experience is the best teacher.
And you never know what are they making, what are you making, what type of result you want.
Yeah, and you'll do
Something
something
for
and you'll
everyone.
fall in love with it, and you'll do other things and you go, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that.
That's a really good observation, Peter, because most of these finishes you can come back from, you can overwrite.
Right, so you can get that back to polished. It gets smooth again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't like the satin effect that we've achieved there and you thought, oh no, I want to go back to super shiny, you might as well polish it by hand with a buffer. I've got these two little cutesies here. It's very important. This is just little felt fingers, just like the felt, the big felt mop that you'd put at the end of your professional polisher. There's teeny tiny ones that you put at the end of your handpiece. Always have one for Tripoli and one for rouge, right? Never use the same one for Tripoli and rouge or for the different stages of polish that you're using, independent of what polish paste or compound you are using. Do not mix them up. I'm going to show you Tripoli first.
Okay.
This has already got some paste on it, so I don't need to put it on. And that bit there I had sanded before. So it goes quite dark because of the paste. You need to put it probably in the ultrasonic or give it a good wash to get rid of the excess paste afterwards. So that's your Tripoli. And I have got this blue paste, which I really love for silver in particular. So you can have a little bit of paste, a stick of paste, a cone of paste on your desk, and you can use these little mops, for example, on the inside of the ring, just like that, or on the outside as well. So if you don't have a professional big polisher, a standing polisher, then, well, do you need one? Maybe not. You can always just use these teeny tiny mops.
Excellent. Thank you, Maca.
No worries. Have a look at this one. This one's got a little bit more of a pointy edge. Ooh, there.
Yep.
And you
And
can
where would you
get
use
them.
that one?
Well, if you need to get, for example, inside a setting,
Yep.
that's what I would use. If you need to get in between into the shoulders of a ring where the setting meets the shank, that's exactly what you would use.
Okay.
There are teeny tiny ones, there are really big ones, and then another option that you can have is the rubbers. Very similar use for polish as well. This is the type of, that's what it looks like when it's brand new. Oh, I can't take it out. That's stuff. That one.
Right. Yep.
The pink one. Now, look at all the different options. And they all do something different. See how pointy those are? You can get inside a setting with something like this. You can get inside under the bezel of a ring. Typical. How do I polish the inside of the, or the underside of the ring, the under bezel, the under gallery, all that? Those are for most likely the inside of the ring. These discs are really pointy and thin, so you could get in the crevices. And these, they look quite round and sort of bulky as when they are new, but as soon as you start using them, the edges go nice and round, and this is what it does. So remember this piece that we had matted down. It's got a satin finish to it. And I'm going to apply this wheel. And look at the shine.
There you go. Yep, just like that.
Just like that. So when my setter, because I'm not a setter, everybody knows that about me. When my setter sets diamonds inside a ring or anything like that, after the fact, he just tidies up and polishes all the little sides of the bezels that he's pushed, and all that metal tidies up with a little bit of this polishing wheel, and it just seals the deal.
El Schmicko. Yep.
I don't think that something like this you would use for like a big surface, you know. You wouldn't polish the outside of the ring just with this, because it actually doesn't give you a very even result.
Oh, okay.
This type of wheel I would suggest for very, very small things that you need to polish. For example, the top of some claws that you've just set your ring, your claws on top of your gemstone, and a little touch of this wheel is what gives them that nice finish, that very good polish. Yeah, that's what I would use that for.
Beautiful.
There are other types of wheels that are not for polish, but they are a lot coarser, and they would be meant to be to sort of take a lot of metal out, grind off a lot of metal, something like this one here. So if I have a surface that is quite uneven and I really want to treat it because I want it to be back to flat, or to, to a nicer state, I would use this. These are a lot coarser wheels. The metal gets really hot in your hand because it needs a lot of friction, but it slowly takes some of the metal off the surface. And you can get them in different hardnesses and different coarseness. Coarseness is necesses.
How many S's in that word?
But yeah, those are some of my favorite burrs. I must show you my favorite one, though. Can I show you my favorite one?
Let's have a look. I've been itching to see this.
Ta-da!
Crikey, what is it?
Look, it's like a little hockey stick.
Yeah.
And it is a burnisher. Now, this is a handmade one. I know you can buy really cute professional ones, but this is just one that I got given by one of my workmates in Parnell years and years ago. And it's really rusty, but it just, it takes me right back, and I really like it. I hope I never lose it. So this was back in the day, Peter, when I used to work and do lots of repairs.
Yeah.
I still do a lot of repairs, but back in the day, it was kind of, my bread and butter. I just sit down at the back of the shop and size 12 to 30 rings per day. And one of the nasty things about repairing and resizing rings is that you can always see the joins. So ideally, you try to make that join disappear. And obviously at the beginning it was a little bit difficult for me, but the better I got at my job, the less you could see my joins. My joins became totally what do you call them?
Invisible.
Invisible. Thank you. Yes, totally invisible. And one of the key things that I learned is to use this, because if you do your join and it's got pitting or a little line through or anything, what you can do is you can burr it out. So as you can see, this hockey stick just turns and turns and turns, and it's got a really nice blunt, soft edge
Yeah.
that will just rub against your metal over and over and over. And it displaces the metal gently and softly as
Okay.
you move it, and it makes that join go away.
Gee.
I know. So crisscross is the best way to use it, on one direction and then on the other. And if you pass it along your joint over and over and over, your joint will disappear.
There you go. I didn't think I'd be seeing you make that go round and round in your flex shaft.
Magic.
Yeah.
This is movie magic.
Yeah.
So if anyone ever wants to know when they repair a piece of jewelry that they have a nasty join on the inside, if there's anything they can do about it, the answer is yes. If you get your jewelry repaired, resized, and you see a very visible join on the inside, that can be remedied. It should be remedied. Your jeweler should be able to use something similar to this to burr the inside and make that totally seamless.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's one of my antique pieces, if you may.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, all that it is a burr that, I don't know, would have had some sort of other head on it, and the jeweler that gave it to me, he just cut the top and made that blunt, probably with one of these. These are really good to sharpen your other tools, something like that. You grab something like this coarse, and you just grind it, grind it, and grind it, and then bend it to one side like a little hockey stick, and voila, you've made yourself a homemade burring tool, burring bit.
Well, it seems the longer you're in the industry, the more tools you tend to make for yourself, hey?
I know, isn't that fun?
Mm. Proving once
Ideally,
again that there's more than one way. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say.
ah! You almost did. Ah. Have a look at this one. This is fun as well. So for anyone that's wondering if you can use these burrs to engrave, yes, you can. There is a teeny tiny, yes, this one. There's a teeny tiny one that I really like, which is got lots of very, very sharp teeth. It's very small, that I can write with. I don't
Yeah.
know.
How
So
good's
I'm
your
just
writing?
gonna, well, I'm not an engraver, but I can write something.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to write a date inside a ring, or your name or your initials, you can. See that?
Oh, quick as a flash.
So if anyone wants to know, you don't need to be a professional engraver. I totally understand. There's people in this trade that are fabulous, fantastic, and they can engrave absolutely wonderful things. But for everyone else that just wants to give it a go, get yourself some really nice burrs and just have a go. Have a look at this. Yeah, not my nicest writing, but I did write on it.
Just bring it up closer, Maca.
How's that?
Um,
Oh, I did write on it, I promise.
yeah. What does it? What does it say?
It just says Maca. This one's
Yeah.
clearer.
Okay.
This one's a lot clearer. So yeah, you can use your burrs as well. Choose something nice, something with a little bit of a round top. Or maybe you could use the teeny tiny balls. Where are they? Yes. Look at the size of that. That's just a hairpin.
That is teeny tiny.
And this is the type of burr, that round bowl burr is the type of burr that your setter would use to make the holes for your teeny tiny diamonds, the kind that we would pave set or
Okay.
etc. etc. Now we're not gonna be setting, but I am gonna show you these other diamond shaped burrs. See, that one there is quite large, so you can see the diamond tip on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a teeny tiny one. This is the kinds of burrs that setters would use to fit their stones inside settings. Yeah, and that's us.
Ripper, do you want to show your face again, Maca? There you go.
A little
Yeah.
bit twisted.
Well, Maca, thank you so much for your presentation today. Thanks for popping into G&A Warburtons, their
Yeah.
showroom there,
How
and
fabulous, eh?
giving us an insight. And yeah, once again, lovely information and useful information, I'm sure, to be passed on to people now and in the future.
Yeah, I think what's important to say now at the end of the video is that everyone's going to have a different need for whatever they're making. So ideally, watch this video, try some burrs. If you don't know exactly what you're after, come to the shop, ask the girls, bring some of your pieces over. There's a solution for everyone. And even though the ones I've shown today are some of the ones I use the most, it might not be the ones that you end up using. So it's ideal that you try them.
Have a play. So that
Yeah.
sample kit is a good way to start, I would think.
I would say. Yeah, I have to say this is it's pretty good. It's pretty handy. Now, when you buy yourself a Fordham mid motor, a pendant, you can start picking and choosing. Some of them come with a kit, some of them don't. Some of them come with a handpiece. So there's lots of options. Come to the shop and figure it out. Have a look at this now. This is what I want to take home.
There you go.
Every
Lucky you
single
got
day.
one of those automatic hand pieces.
So you can use two of them at the same time. I think so. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that if you come here, you will be seeing, and you'll be able to choose which is the burr that you want.
There you go.
And
As
buy
you
them all.
alluded
Like,
to earlier, a plethora of burrs.
yes.
Yes. Okay, Marco, thank you so much once again, and we'll look forward to seeing you and our audience sometime real soon.
Thank you. Thank you. If anyone has a burr at home that they don't know what it's for, take a picture of it, put it online, and I'll help you with it. I'll make sure I figure out what it is.
Raymond Burr on the case. Perry
Yes.
Mason.
It's always fun.
Okay. Thank you, Marco. Bye-bye.
Bye, Peter. Bye, everyone. Thank you.